Rallycross is back. This guy's back. Bakkerud. Packed grids are back. The noise is back. I did miss it. We're back in Latvia and some other classic venues. This legend is back. This is the 2026 FIA European Rallycross Championship, and the best racing on the planet is back.
There it is, the Biķernieki Trass. That's the little lake in the middle of it. I didn't even know that was here until I was here for the pre-season test when one of the drivers said they were going fishing. We've been coming here since 2016, and so 10 years of Riga and 10 years of FIA Rallycross being here, and it's great to be back with the FIA European Rallycross Championship for 2026. My name's Andrew Coley, this is Hal Ridge. Good to see you again, mate. 3 sessions in a row. It's been a bit of a day. Hope you guys are all keeping up. We've got one more session to come, so have a look at this. This is our plan for the rest of today. You're going to see RX5 and RX4 first of all. Patrick O'Donovan coming to join me in the commentary box during some of that, hopefully. Then on to RX3, Super 1600, RX1, of course. If you missed the last session, things are getting a bit spicy out there. Now, remember, Q1 is a grid draw where the drivers choose where they want to be, and so they don't all end up with the stiffest competition. This last one, the competition was very stiff indeed. So yeah, stick around for Euro RX1 if you can. Let's start though with Euro RX5. Martins, Kovacs, Martinez, Gonzalez and Lohéac in this one. Lohéac, I think, is the driver who missed the last race.
You'd be correct.
Well done, me.
That's why he's on the outside.
It is, yeah, he's here this time. I did have a quick glance up into the distance. Without my binoculars, I could see that there were 5 cars and that we were good. So, Paulo Martins, Dominikos Kovacs, Flavio Martins, Diego Martinez, Gonzalez and Marin Lohéac. Lights are coming on. Let's have a look and see how this lot get on the run down to the first corner. Even start across the grid from the middle. There it is, Martins, who manages to get into turn 1 first of all. Comes past commentary here. Dumped to the back of the pack was Paulo Martins. It's Flavio Martins leading, so the 2 Martins in together.
Good move from Lohéac through the first couple of corners to thread the needle and climb to P3. From the outside, a bit of a damage limitation in this one, I guess. Must finish, mustn't you? Oh,
inside move, look at that, that's late on the brakes.
Bit of contact into the corner.
And the leaders drop back 3 places, so Flavio Martins drops back 3 places out. Oh, carnage.
He lunged back up the inside then and then got forced wide by Lohéac. That was a messy couple of corners, wasn't it?
I think it's Kovacs, hasn't it, who's made massive progress there. Pretty sure it's Kovacs who's moved up into P2.
It is, yeah.
And across the line, it is indeed. So Dominikos Kovacs moves up, the Hungarian driver. The leading is Diego Martinez Gonzalez with the fastest lap. Not surprised after everything that went on behind. They do sound quite fun, don't they, when you see them coming out, when you hear them coming absolutely screaming back past us.
Yeah, they're brilliant, aren't they? And there's nothing better than a high revving engine and a sequential gearbox, is there?
Over the jump, out the back, Kovacs, the gap is 1.4 seconds. Bottom left-hand corner, you saw your joke lap icons there, who's taken it and who hasn't. And so on, look at the rotation on the cars onto the tarmac section there. There's still a lot of dust, look, on the jump section, Hal, and that's giving them the big rotation in the right-hander at the end of the standard lap as they turn to the right and then the left.
And with these cars, because they're rear-wheel drive and quite lightweight, a firm downshift will also help rotate the rear at points, won't it? Just to slow down the rear wheels that little bit. Quite often you can use the engine braking to help with the rotation, if you're very good, of course.
Or you can do what I do in the wet, which is go down a gear and immediately get 2 sideways and then struggle not to
lock the rears and have a crash.
Yeah, just along those lines, wasn't it? Where was it you said to me, calm down, Andrew, it was wet, and I was having a terrible time in practice. You said, you just got to calm down a bit. But good photos. Great stuff. good to see this category in. Say, if you haven't watched so far today, this is RX5. It is the new first rung on the ladder in FIA Rallycross to go along with, of course, the FIA Cross Car Championship, which runs with autocross. So lots of options now. If you wanted to say you could do it in autocross, and then you could move up and come and do it alongside Rallycross and then into RX4. You see Biķernieki was in the commentary box with me earlier saying you can pick up a second-hand RX4 car for, well, a Rally 4 car, because that's what they're based on, for between 50 and 60k, a new one about 75. So really, you know, really good value when you compare that to buying a Super 1600 car and trying to get the bespoke bits for it and blowing stuff up all the while. How you're a big exponent, aren't you, of parts on the shelf when you've got manufacturer interest like we've got with the Rally 4 cars. A bit of ring up, go, I need this.
There's two sides to that, isn't there? And yes, as an entry-level category within this summer championship, it's required. I love, and I spend a lot of time being involved in making bespoke parts for a Rallycross car, and that's what the sport has been founded on. But having that accessibility is so important.
Yeah, that's great. We want to see factory cars. I love it. Checker flags out. Mattias Gonzalez going to get this. Let's have a look into it. 3:31 was the previous winning time in each session. Yeah, 3:36. No, it was about P6 in the last session. Yeah, P5, P6. That should be good enough for Gonzalez. Yeah, we want to see factory cars and innovation and new bits coming every week in the top category. Although, you know, we're not at that point at the moment, but the teams are constantly working in the background. But yes, for entry-level stuff like this and RX4, you should be able to rip a wishbone off it and go order one the following day and it be at your house, and that's what happens when you've got a decent entry-level classification. Diego Martinez Gonzalez, España takes it, 3:36.7. Here's a look at the start from the side, you get a better idea. It was good all the way up until, here it is, this is the moment where the moves made up the inside. It was kind of on. It was Flavio Martins, was it, I think? Yeah, on the outside, just got forced that bit wide, and this is where that situation continued later on. Lohéac just getting forced a bit wider than planned. Muru on the inside from Bowdens, Bartlett, Luca Neumeier and Horvath. Look at that. 5 different country flags in this one. Estonian, Latvian, Great Britain, Germany and Hungary. I think actually Benjamin Bartlett's the only Brit here, isn't he? Depending on what flag Patrick O'Donovan is flying at any particular moment. Yes, yeah. I have noticed there is some variation there on what gets flown on the flag, which is absolutely fine by us. Muru on the inside with the big blue wing. Not the best start from the outside. Otto Horvath with an absolute banger in the TN11. Just comes across, shuts the door, and everyone's a Horvath. Comes through turn 2, however, the front right wheel pouring in the air as the car sits down hard in the back. You've got to have some confidence, haven't you, just to send it in from the outside. You've got to know you're clear, and the spotters can influence that, but you've got to be sure, haven't you, to turn in. Bartlett or running, 2 wheels there, Hal. Ben Bartlett had 2 wheels up on the rubber barrier on the inside. Gets away with it, running third at the moment, applying a bit of pressure to local star Bowdens. Bowdens' machine is reasonably large, isn't it, relative to what we've seen in the past in the C-Mog. Used to be in the Speed Car Wonder R, didn't he? He's made a mistake, or either that or he's got a problem and he's dropped back. I think there might be an issue there, Hal. Yeah, not the pace we'd expect from Ronalds here on his home circuit. Just seems, look, you see? Yeah. Maybe he's found the gear finally, but that's definitely not quite right. So past us then, and coming into your picture, there it is, Otto Horvath. Murray had a bundle of understeer as well on the exit of the final turn in the speedily named P-Tech Est-Fighter 2. Ben Bartlett here with an opportunity there. Now Bowdens has dropped back. Horvath with the fastest lap. Horvath was 52.6, 53.1 for Bartlett, but Bartlett's closing up now. So Ben Bartlett has got the bit between his teeth and has closed up. So is he going to go Joker? No, he's going to follow around. I think that's a good call. Follow around for another lap, find that pace. Look at this, Hal, really close. I'd have Jokered. Would you? Yeah, as a spotter. Because you just want to maximise the opportunity, don't you? Ben's currently 9th overall after the first 2 queues, so you want to climb the order a bit for your grid position in the semi-final. Grid position so important when the grids are staggered. Oh, sideways on the exit. Horvath's trying hard here. Bartlett not going to do it, just don't try and then stay right with. But
so hard to get that move done on the inside, isn't it? Because the corner's so acute in turn 3. If you are tight on the inside, you approach it so wide on the racing line.
If they haven't gone really defensive on the run into it, I don't think you've got any chance. It's there where you get the exit. So this time Bartlett has got the passing laps, got to go Joker. The leader's going to go, so Bartlett doesn't. Good move. So Horvath goes Joker. Bartlett stays out, 2.9 back to Muru. So is that a cover from the leader on Muru? I think it is. Marco Muru coming around the outside line might get Horvath here. Bartlett's going to have to get a lap in. He is. Right, so Horvath has gone Joker there to cover off Muru. Muru's on the close down.
But also in the hope that Bartlett follows, because you know Bartlett's got good pace because he's all over the back of you. So quite often you'll see people joke early and go late in the hope that it sucks someone in behind you. But it didn't work out for him that time, and now Bartlett really needs to maximise this lap to try and beat Muru to the finish line. So
this is the Joker predictor. He's saying 3.2 at the minute. They're saying that, what are they saying? Ben Bartlett won't make it up into P1?
Into the Joker on the final tour, needs to ace the entry here, run the car right out to the exit, does exactly that. They jump side by side. This is going to be very close indeed.
Oh, I think Muru's going to get it. Unfortunately, I think it's a little unfortunately for Ben. Great for Muru. Good drive by Muru. Yeah, just on that last lap, not quite enough pace. So look at the gap that Muru made on Horvath, Al. I think that Muru didn't have such a good start. Actually, has done really well to fight his way back up. Also, massive shout out to Muru for the huge numbers on the side of the car, which is always a help. Look at that. Yeah. Those are the numbers that we need. And also liveries. You cross-car drivers, if you're going to come and compete here, we're going to have to see brighter liveries. This is a request.
An order.
Yeah, it is an order, yeah. So Marco Muru takes it with a great drive. Ben Bartlett was in with a shout, as was Otto Horvath. Maybe, as Hal said, Bartlett could have jokered a lap earlier and covered off the threat from Muru, but I'm not sure that the spotters were necessarily across it. Valdins ends up 12 seconds down, so he did have a problem, as we suspected.
I wasn't particularly across it. He was never going to be that close when they're jumping side by side, but it looks spectacular, doesn't it? And Muru, looking at the times, Muru absolutely smashed a couple of brilliant sectors to close the gap.
Look at that, packed grandstand. It was very bright and sunny here yesterday. It is not as bright and sunny today, I have to say. I'm not quite in gloves territory just yet, but as the session goes on, I tend to get there. Good to see a big crowd here. There's some VIP stands in front of us as well. There's another stand up at the last corner, which also has a bunch of people in it too. So good attendance, which is what we like to see. I'm hoping we're going to see big crowds back at some of our classic venues this year as well. Now then, Martin Nyirád on the inside, the winner of both the previous sessions. Next to him, Tim Braumoller. Then it's Armin Raag, Roberts Permalis and Valentin Comte. Permalis was super quick at the pre-season test. Armin Raag has been dominant here in the past. Braumoller has impressed me, the German driver, as well. Definitely got pace, but they've got to beat Nyirád at the start, and Nyirád has absolutely aced both of his starts. Remember, the last one was from this grid slot as well. Wait for the green, watch the nose come up. Oh, not so good this time from Nyirád, but look at this, somehow his gears, and as he gets up into second and third, or inside line in the background, bit of contact left, right. But no, gets away, so yeah, nicely done.
Nyirád nailed it again, as you say. What a brilliant job to get out front, get clear, runs the car right to the outside in turn 3. They're all fighting behind, trying to close the gap.
Patrick O'Donovan has just come up into the commentary box. We'll have him on in just a second. So yeah, Nyirád, Permalis and Braumoller. Nyirád's start there, Hal, wasn't as good, and yet he comes back. But, you know, that can just be gear issues in the car, can't it? And how he's executing that. These things are flat shift, pretty much. So interesting that even though the start wasn't as good as Braumoller's, he still got it done.
It's also the composition in the first corner, isn't it? How you let that play out, how aware you are of what's going on around you. And, yeah, his experience of racing at this level in these types of cars will be really playing to his advantage with that situation.
Now, we've got a driver alongside us who's actually raced in a category like this back at home in the UK. Patrick O'Donovan, you raced in the RX 150 category there, which is I guess was the UK's version of cross car. We've now got cross car as in FIA cross car racing in British Rallycross, but they're unique things to drive.
Yeah, definitely. I also drove one of Bradley Turner's Life-Lift TN11s as well.
How was it?
Well, I made a rookie error. I was a cheapskate and I didn't buy the rip-off. I didn't buy the rip and roll. Sorry, I bought the rip-offs for a helmet because I didn't have like a normal rip and roll system. So in the final,
rip and roll is the motocross system where you pull a chain and it rolls across. Yeah,
it rolls one at a time. But I seemed to in the final pull off like 4 rip-offs in one go, and
so then you couldn't see,
and then had zero visibility. But
I've been there, mate.
Amazing cars to drive. You know, such a cost-effective entryway
on the inside. Just up the inside, job done there.
Such a cost-effective way to get into the sport. Of course, it's not cheap, but motorsport isn't. But, you know, as a way to get into rallycross, I don't think there's, for me, a better way for you to learn car control, learn racecraft, and be able to have a little bit of leeway, have those damaging moments, and get away with it.
Just requesting some stuff from graphics. Going to get some more information up on the screen for us. They can be as quick as a supercar in the right places, can't they, in terms of lap time?
100%. I mean, like they're
which
massively,
is mad.
Yeah, it's totally mad. And they're fast as it is, but I mean, you take it to things like wet conditions and how light they are compared to a supercar. I mean, I can only go from what I've seen really in the UK. We haven't seen so much of RX5 in the European in the past. Of course, brand new series. Brand new championship put into the series, but you know, looking at the British stuff that I've seen on the tracks in the past, cars in the wet can sometimes be going, cross cars, sorry, can be going half a second lap quicker.
A lot of it is what you said about weight, isn't it? Is how late you can brake compared to, I mean, a supercar they're not heavy, but they you know. Compared to these, they are. And
I think as well, you saw it in like the old track in Silverstone in the UK, where the cars would be spinning the tyres on the mud because they couldn't exactly get the traction, whereas these would just float straight across the top of them.
So they're a great piece of kit, say really good. How many times did you win the championship at home, the RX, our equivalent of RX5, RX 150?
I only did it once and I won it.
Yeah.
I did half a season, my first one, so I couldn't quite do it. I finished second, half a season missed, but yeah, I won it once, which was brilliant because it was a family-run championship series. So
yeah, it was cool, wasn't it? Here we go over the line, Martin Nyirád. What's he going to do this time? 3:32.1. And if I look at his previous times, which I'll be able to find somewhere, he says, flicking through the folder in the wind. Wow, it is windy now. He was 3:31.7 was what we had before. So yeah, 3:31.7 was his previous times, and this time was at 3:32.1. So,
but also, I mean, the wind's picked up. There's going to be more dust onto the track, onto the racing line, and again, the temperature's dropped now as well.
It's definitely getting colder, isn't it? It is. So I say that it says it's 12.6. We've said that all day. I think it's freezing.
Yeah, that has to be wrong.
I think it's wrong as well. It's not shorts weather. Hal Rich turned up in shorts yesterday, and it was definitely not shorts weather. So I think I might have done the wrong thing. Patrick O'Donovan, ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 European Rallycross champion. So we have you and Bakkerud, I think, are the previous title holders here. Belevsky, of course, last year not here. Markland prior to that. So it's good to come here with a title, but this is not easy this year at all, is it? It's also what you want, though, a good scrap.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, like, this is a track for me personally. I've only been here once before, and I did struggle. I'm not going to lie about it. It's a track that I wouldn't necessarily suit my driving style, so I'm having to adapt massively out of my comfort zone to try and adapt to how you need to drive on the circuit. So, I mean, no excuses there. I just need to do better on my side. But yeah, it's definitely something that I'm really trying to learn and hone in more. It's like more similar to a go-kart track, I would say, than a purely off-road circuit. Like, there's a lot of grip, even on the gravel. Sorry, there's so much grip. When the conditions out here and it goes slippery and the temperature, in my opinion, I think sometimes you have a little bit more grip on the gravel than you can on the tarmac.
Yeah, I get it. It's a very different type of circuit. Let's take a look at the RX5 quality points after Q3. Remember, their final qualification will be tomorrow. So this gives you a good idea. So look at Nyirád. Because he's won all 3 sessions, you get 50 for a win. P2, Tim Brownmuller has had 2 P2s. That's the 45 points. Look at the points gap. So winning a session makes a massive difference if you're trying to catch up or if you're trying to get away from the other drivers. The top 12 here will go through to the semi-finals. At the minute, that is Nyirád, Brownmuller, Rag, Pamalis, Muru, Gonzalez, Horvath and Bartlett. Now, I don't know if we've got the remaining of the top 12. Not today. So on to RX4. We'll bring you that tomorrow, say top 12 going through. Now, these guys, I think, will go straight to the final because there's just the 8 cars in it, and this is RX4. What were you going to say, Patrick?
I was just saying Martin Hughes on there to do a clean sweep by the looks of it.
Oh, well, sorry. Yeah, the old golden broom.
Someone had him the sweeping brush because he was doing it on the podium.
The first one was Bakkerud, wasn't it, in Norway? I don't know what year it was, and we gave him a golden broom in Argentina at the after party, and he lost it. To be honest, I don't know how you'd have got a golden broom home on a long-haul flight anyway, but right.
I'm sure he could have thought of somewhere to hide it.
Oh, it would have been all right, I'm sure. So then in this one, on the pole, we have Albert Koch, then it's Leonard Lepsis, Hao Shindeng, and Anna Rusek. So Albert Koch was, where was he? P2 in the first one and P5 in the next one. Ideally, you always want to be in that second race, but to be honest with you, the pace between these drivers has been really, really similar. It's a great addition to it. Patrick's looking at the lights and getting himself practiced up for later. I reckon you went early there, mate, would have been a jump start.
Jump start, I beat you.
Albert Koch with an easy hole shot here, so he's so impressive. To be fair, behind Anna Rusek, looking to find a way through on the inside line, can't quite do it. Albert Koch might lose out here on the run down to the next corner. It's Leonard Lepsis looking for a way through. Koch goes on the defence on the inside line. Lepsis follows him through. Nicely done. He's 14 years old. Now, I know you started young as well, didn't you? And it's really important, but he's doing ever so well here.
I wish there was a class like this when I was his age, because this is such a great opportunity and a class for young drivers to really hone their skills in more similar cars than they will be when they're growing up. And I mean, of course, a little bit unlucky that you can't quite afford to be sideways going into turn 2 there in a car with this power. But I mean, just if that was a supercar, that would have been brilliant.
Look at Lepsis there. Last-minute decision not to go to the Joker, and then behind him, Deng and Rusek both went in anyway. So good decision from Lepsis. I reckon if he'd have gone in, the others wouldn't, and then you risk catching up with them if you joke it early. It's great though. This is great. So I've had a couple of messages from people saying RX4 is a great addition, and actually it's the class. We've only got 8 cars here this weekend, but because it's so close. In the last one, Patrick, all 4 cars crossed the line in 0.6 of a second. 2 from the Joker, 2 from the standard lap. It was mega.
That's mental. That reminds me of like, who was it? It was Michael Schumacher and someone in the Ferraris when they were like side by side.
Oh, over the line?
Yeah, over the line. I saw a video of that come up on my feed the other day, and that just reminds me of something similar
the other, Lohéac was the other one that I always remember when we had all 6 cars over the line, and it was just ridiculous, like as they came out of the merge. Again, I'm used to Talon know what year it was, wouldn't he? Obviously, and exactly what day and what the weather was like, but talking of the weather, we're in danger of losing the canopies here at the studio. It's getting so windy, but we're all right for now. We'll let you know if everything gets blown away. Lepsis has gone Joker. So Albert Koch now leads by, what's the gap, 4.3, and does the fastest lap. So Albert Koch has done a 53.0 when his competitor Lepsis has gone in. That's so crucial, Patrick. How hard is it when the pressure comes, someone goes perfect laps now, I need 2?
I mean, it's hard, don't get me wrong, but I also feel like when someone tells you you absolutely need it, that's when you can trigger that flow state, and that's when you can get into it, and you can really just, in your headspace, I don't know, for me, something changes. When Dave's on the radio and he's like, Patrick, someone's going to the Joker, I need you to respond now, you need to do it. It shifts your mindset completely into, it puts you into, this sounds crazy, but it puts you into a different mental plane. You just start to look at everything a bit differently and enter that flow state.
It's focus, isn't it? It's 100% focus mode. Let's see what Albert Koch does this time round. Last one was a 53.0. It's a 53.1, so he's within a 1/10 of a second. What is Lepsis doing behind him? 53.3. So yeah, Albert Koch is driving away from these guys here. It's only a couple of tenths here and there, but he's getting it done. Lepsis is going to try and get back to him, but if Albert does a good Joker here, he should get it done.
He looks just so neat and tidy and so confident and in control of his vehicle at all times. You know, I haven't seen him make one single mistake in this entire race.
No, yeah, I rate him. I love the fact he's here at 14. You know, we're starting to see it now. I suppose the thing is, people have been doing motorsport at a young age in a lot of countries, as you did. Did you do junior Swifts?
Yeah, I did Suzuki Swifts.
How old were you then?
I was 14 when I started in Suzuki.
There you go. So he's done some stuff already at 14, but the thing is we haven't seen it at the FIA Rallycross level, so it's nice to see it right up here at the very highest point in the sport. Through the final corner, it's a brilliant job by Albert Koch. He's responded when he had to, and he's banged in a couple of quick lap times, and he takes the checkered flag.
I also think it's a brilliant thing from the FIA what they've done, because in previous years we haven't had a cost-effective way of going up a stepping stone ladder.
Yes.
And I mean, I just think now, of course, there's a bit of a difference between 1600 and European supercar, but the step between European and World isn't what it was because there's no World Championship. But having just a European, RX5 to 4, then 3 to 1, it's just...
And you know what, there's a gap there, isn't there, for RX2? And I've got some ideas what RX2 might end up being, but that'll give us a nice ladder on the way up. Hal Ridge is in the paddock, and he's with Rokas Pachuska.
Thank you, Andy. Rokas is just having a little dive away. Rokas, you've been doing Dakar Rally, long-distance events. Now you're back to super short distance. I know you've done a couple of test events and some testing in Lohéac. How has this morning gone for you?
I mean, you know, it's nice to come back to Rallycross. I did 7 years a gap. I mean, yeah, it's a bit strange, but, you know, it's amazing the sound of the engine and of the fans, you know. Why we decide to do this race, because, you know, it's close to my home, 300 kilometers from here, you know. The people can come to watch, you know. In Dakar, it's a little bit difficult to travel there, but yeah, now we are doing well. Yeah, a bit struggling with the setup, but we try to do our job, you know. But yeah, it's nice to come back for sure. You know, 7 years break. It's a little bit, you know. You need to have a time to remember everything. But so far it's good, nice atmosphere, you know. Big competition, you know. 30 cars on the grid is amazing. I think for this year.
Thank you, Rokas. Good luck for Q3.
So his social team were with him yesterday, and they said his nickname's Rokas Bazooka. But I'd already said to him, you know, we're asking about his results in Euro. He goes, I've done Supercar before. I was like, yeah, but that was World, this is Euro. What's your best result in Euro? He's like, oh, yeah, good point. I haven't done Euros. I was like, right, you're a rookie. So it's Rookie Rokas Bazooka is the full nickname now. Gabrands, Benazet, Melon and Conseil in this one.
Try saying Rookie Rokas Bazooka.
In the middle of a race, yeah. Or five times in a race. Yeah. It's like red lorry, yellow lorry. That's a truck. She shall on the seashore. There are some other ones we mustn't do, which are very hard to do indeed. Here we go. Gabrands on the inside for Latvia. Currently sitting in P2 in the overall standings. Philippe Melon has got the best start from slot number 3. Gabrands coming back on the run down to turn 1 with Benazet as well. Philippe Melon somehow got contact. 2 cars round, turned in too early. Benazet gets up into P2. So Benazet is through. I think it's Conseil who is parked in turn 1. Pretty sure it is. Need to wait for them to cross this timing line. Yes, indeed, it is Conseil who's dropped down. Conseil gets away now. That's a shame. Typical turn 1 here in Latvia, though. You can't close the door too quickly.
No, you definitely can't. I mean, you can see him. I'm not even going to try and pronounce surnames there. Car 2 was pushing car 1 there all through turn 4 in that left-hander. Has dropped down a little bit now in the gravel, but hopefully he can get back up.
The hardest one here was Conseil. So he came in. Luckily, he came in because I thought Quince would be the English way to say it, but obviously with the E on the end with the little thing.
I can say Melon. He's
I can say that too. Benazet and Gabrands. You know, sometimes I look at the names and then you're like, actually, it's really easy. Like Benazet's fine, but Conseil, that would have caught me out. Luckily, he was a lovely kid, and he was like, no, it's Conseil. I was like, okay, wicked. And they were like, yeah, it's good. I'm like, okay, nice one. I don't think you could call me fluent, but yeah, really nice. Benazet and Conseil came in together. They're both running with 11 Motorsport. Yeah, good stuff.
Benazet just catching that gap slightly. Gabrands just making a small mistake there, going wide in turn 3. Gets it on the gravel, has to go defensive to block him.
And that's the thing, Patrick. When do you decide to go defensive? Because the second you go defensive, you're losing time. And we all know that this is about your overall time compared to the rest. You don't want to lose a position, but sometimes you've got to have the kahunas to just stay out wide and know that they won't come inside you. But I guess they will. So how do you make that call?
Usually if someone's tapping you on the back, you know, they're too close.
Then you keep the door shut.
Most of the time I have Dave, you know, you have a small mental driver profile of who's behind you, who's most likely statistically probably to go for a move on you, who's going to do something silly while they're behind you, and who's going to play the smart game and go for time in the qualifyings. But, I mean, definitely you just got to play it by ear most of the time. Are they close enough, do you think, to make a lunge? That's generally what you'd base it off, I guess, the spotter.
Benazet, look, has just done the fastest lap, so as Gabrands goes in, Patrick called it that Benazet was closing the gap. Gabrands went joker, but I think he went joker at the wrong moment because I think it's given Benazet clear air. I don't know that I would have jokered from the lead. So Gabrands, though, maybe, of course, was covering off Philippe Melon, and that's the thing. If you're new to Rallycross, and we hope we're introducing some new viewers here, you've got to think about where the other cars are. Are they closing the gap or not? Are you going to sit in traffic? It's like choosing an F1 pit stop. What's the best lap to do it on? Lots of people watch F1 and maybe haven't seen Rallycross, and that's kind of my best way to explain it, really. Benazet stays out. Gabrands was 3.4 back. Let's see if that gap's gone up or down as they come over the start-finish line.
the way I always looked at it, no matter what you can do, as long as you can be the person in clean air and have somebody behind you, you've got the best chance. As long as you can get your head down and set those laps. Of course, some people are better. They need a bit of motivation, someone to chase and follow in front of them. So perhaps that's what he's trying to do. Maybe it's to put him in that space where he feels like he has to try and catch up to catch. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you're right. You can only control the controllables, which is you. So yeah, if you get yourself in clean air, it takes any risk away. So interestingly, of course, you followed Johan for a couple of laps in Q1, I think it was. What, did you see anything? Obviously, you're European champion, but he's an 8-time world champion. Did you spot anything different that he's doing? Obviously, his car's different, but was there anything you like interested?
Yeah, I did actually see a few things that he was doing that I've picked up on, and then I made those changes in race 2 in Q2, and it was instantly way better. The feedback I had inside the car myself. Of course, I was struggling a little bit in the second half of the race, and I think I was trying a bit too hard maybe to keep up Johan. I spiked those pressures, but you can see
Gebrand's going to get it. Gebrand's looked to the inside, but Benazet holds on by just under 0.2 of a second. 3:44.9 though. Albert Koch wins the session. 3:44.4 is the session time that was, and it's the first session win for Albert Koch. So it's P2, P5. The 14-year-old wins Q3. Yeah, go on, Patrick. Sorry, so you were saying, so there were a few little bits that you picked up.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just think when you get the opportunity and the chance with such clean air, I mean, just, of course, racing against my dad and having that opportunity to just follow Johan, you got to take it. I mean, you learn more following an 8-time world champion in 4 laps than you would doing 3 test days on your own.
Yeah, epic. It's amazing, isn't it? I love that. Great detail from Patrick, I say, following Johan earlier. Hal Ridge is down in the pits. Patrick's got to go because he's got some racing to do in a minute, and Hal is with Joni Topinen.
Joni, fantastic job in Q2. It didn't look like you had the best initial launch, but the launch was actually really good in the run to the first corner. Survived the contact, won the race, fastest time. You must be delighted.
Yes, that was great. I had quite good launch and I had good space to come around the outside, and yes, I managed to come first from the 2 corners, and yeah, just then driving my own things, and that was the result.
You've done a lot of winning in your short supercar career so far, but to be top of the timesheets ahead of Andreas Bakkerud, Johan Kristoffersson, how does that feel?
It feels good. It's crazy that when I was a kid, or I am still, but you know, I was maybe 5 when those guys were already racing and winning the championships, and now I'm racing with them and leading them. So it's crazy.
Keep enjoying it, mate. See you in Q3.
Great stuff from Joni Topinen, and obviously having a fantastic time here, as are our bad choice of words, Coley, Euro RX 4 drivers. So Andrea Benazet, look, won Q1. Albert Koch wins Q3. Ivo Gabrand's won Q2. The points difference between them is 9 in terms of qualifying points. So Benazet has definitely been the most consistent, look, with a win and 2 P2s. But 3 different winners from the 3 sessions shows you everything you need to know. And let's take a look at the times from that last session. 3:44 down to 3. So the top 4 cars were separated by less than a second. In the previous session, it was 0.6. So it is very close indeed in Euro RX4. If you've got one of these cars, I think you should think about entering later on this year. We continue on to Euro RX3. It is Höljes, Tuma, Souza, Senna, Gaknik and Dvorak in this one. Höljes on the inside is currently sitting P11. Remember that only the top 12 will go through. So at the minute, Václav Tuma, Jan Dvorak and Tiago Ferreira are outside that point. Ferreira is not in this one. There now the light comes on. You should see the revs come up a bit. Not too much though, because they don't want to get too much wheel spin, these normally aspirated machines. And there's a jump start, and it looks like slot number 4, Dominic Senna Gaknik, is the car. You see the white line in front of the car is disappeared. It looks like a little white line in the middle, doesn't it? Actually, it's been painted over by the Höljes rubber on either side. So Senna Gaknik reverses out, and then we'll slot in. And we'll get ourselves underway. Höljes on the inside, I say, sitting in 11th. Václav Tuma sitting in 15th. André Souza sitting in 4th. So he won the first session, had a disaster in the next one. So Souza in the middle of the grid could really do with getting away well here. Dominic Senna Gaknik is sitting in P10 at the minute. and Jan Dvorak down in P14. So Václav Číma second on the grid, needs a great result here, as does Dvorak if they want to drag themselves into that top 12. One more session to come tomorrow. And remember, RX3 and RX5 will go to semis. RX4, I think, will go straight to the final, I think. They might have forecast semis, I'm not sure. Need to check the regs on that, as it's a new category. And then Supercar, RX1, will have quarter-finals, semi-finals, and then the final, all tomorrow, as well as their Q4. So we have another 4.5 hours of live rallycross for you tomorrow. Make sure you join us. There, I love that noise. You just hear them clunk it into gear as it goes in. Just back into first. Lights come on. Remember, Číma and Dvorak need good results. P2 and P5 on the grid. Sousa in the middle has got a good start here and is going to be able to shut the door on Höljes. Contact between Senna Gagnik. Oh no, that's a bit of a disaster. Sousa runs wide in turn 1 as well. Höljes gets through, and now Senna Gagnik, who had that contact, is going to look up the inside. Oh, so close. There was a move in the background as well. Maybe a pass in the background just underneath the drone. Höljes runs a little bit wide, so André Sousa won the start. Then something happened in turn 1 and he dropped back again. We'll see it in the replays. And Senna Gagnik right in there with him. Dvorak at the back of this pack. Is it, say, P14 in quality, and Václav Číma as well? Both do. Ah, Sousa runs wide. Sousa runs wide. Václav Číma goes up the inside. And over the crest away, Halridge's made it back from the paddock. So Sousa's gone from hero to P4 on the first lap. That is not what he needed or what he wanted. Senna Gagnik goes joker and comes out in traffic. Not sure I would have jokered that early in this one, but he's done it. And we'll have to see what happens with the consequences now. Höljes, to me, that sounds like an exhaust issue, Hal, with Höljes. It's noisy as it comes past.
Yeah, I thought someone had a misfire when I first put my headset on, because trackside, you don't, well, I'm walking back, you don't hear the same thing. When you've got your cans on, you really hear the trackside microphones, but under big pressure is Sousa there. The car's going to be second-hand, isn't it, after the fighting earlier on.
Höljes doesn't seem to have... Höljes has done the fastest lap, so even if there is a problem with the exhaust or the manifold, it's still... The car is still performing well. Yeah, Sousa... Well, you can really hear it, can't you? It sounds very different to a normal Super 1600 car.
Did you get hit in the first corner, or...?
Everybody got hit in the first... No, it wasn't quite that bad.
So the exhaust could just be bent over and be changing the note, if
That is a good shout. That is a good shout, because something happened to Sousa on the way out.
No, I've taken my cans off. I would say that's something much worse, like a split manifold or something that's really loud if you listen to it in isolation.
Yeah, and it's just on the fastest lap, Hal. It's only a 51.4, but I'd need a bit more information to know how their laps are looking. Yeah, we don't have the previous lap times here. So Höljes leads from Číma. The gap is 2.1, which might not be enough. Here he is. Listen to this on the exit. You guys might get an idea at home.
Look.
Yeah, oh yeah, Hal, that sounds like that's developing into a misfire almost, doesn't it?
Looking at lap times, it's interesting that I guess Albert Koch was fastest in RX4 since I wasn't here.
He won a session, so the 14-year-old won, yeah.
But he did a 53.0 as his fastest lap, and they're 51.4s here, so RX4 to RX3 is a little bit slower, but not much.
No, and when you look at the cost, Höljes is losing time now. Höljes is losing time. Václav Číma is closing that gap down. I think 2.3 it is now. Senna Gagnik's jokered, and that's not how to close it down. Well held. Václav Číma just about keeps it out of the wall. That was a big old handful of opposite line.
That was like a friend of mine's approach to driving a Super 1600 car. Have you met him?
I don't know what you mean. Liverpool Höljes, I'm a very safe... Oh no, Sousa! Sousa's dropped it. So Sousa is off. We've got another car parked in turn 1 as well. How is Dvorak is parked in turn 1 and opening the bonnet on the car.
It's smoking a lot there.
Höljes coming over the jump now, so Dvorak walks away from his machine. This has been a bit of a disaster for Sousa, who was sitting up in P4 overall. Liverpool Höljes coming round with a not great sounding car, crosses the line.
For getting it to the end.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do a lot about protecting it, can you? But it sounded worse and worse and worse.
Spot of luck behind him, I think, Hal. I mean, so Höljes was sitting in P. What's his time? It was at 3:38.4. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. So despite sounding not great, 3:38.4 would have been enough to win Q1, although we know that was a bit messy. Yeah, Q2 it would have seen him 5th, I think.
I don't sound great, but I often have a good time.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I couldn't really work out where Sousa, who finished 4th there looking at the race results, Tejas taking the win despite those issues.
I didn't know where he went
didn't
on.
know where the spin was.
I was trying to figure that out myself. It's the Höljes.
Must be turn
buried
3,
in
isn't it?
turn 3. Look at the Höljes branding's been pushed in. So we might have a tyre wall repair. Tejez takes it from Tuma Senna-Gagnet. We're just discussing whether or not we're going to have a track repair. Here's, in fact, that's Tuma's moment. Look at this. Go on, lad.
Back it in, son.
Look at the dirt
in a
off
supercar,
now.
You could live with that, but
he does. He's back on the gas already. Look, because he knows he's caught it. Yeah. Okay. So, not ideal from Bakkerud Tuma, but definitely not ideal from Sousa as well. So Sousa has gone off. Let me point. Hal, can you move a little bit, and I'll point a bit more. There, do you see the one piece of Höljes branding on the end of my finger there? That's folded into the tyre barrier. That was good pointing, wasn't it? Very
helps when you look in the right way there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so bit of a mess, maybe a bit of work to do in a car to recover.
So before I came up here, I had a quick word with Johan Kristoffersson in the paddock. Dominant in free practice, fastest in Q1, Q2 didn't quite get the start, and then it got quite busy.
Yeah, no, but the car feels good, and yeah, but the start wasn't really ideal in Q2, and yeah, the 3 guys on the outside started very well. So yeah, we will just have to try and work a little bit on those starts for Q3.
I know you're a perfectionist. I know you like leading from the front, but also being in the thick of the battle there is a bit of real rallycross, isn't it?
Yeah, it was good fun. It was a good fun heat. It's really nice to be back in rallycross, be back driving, and yeah, that's one of those heats that really gets you awake. So no, I really enjoyed it, and I was having a lot of fun during Q2. But of course, the most fun is to take the 50 points.
Thank you, Johan.
I love the fact that the most fun is taking 50 points, but he also quite likes to scrap. But it was a good drive by him getting back out. It really was. Let's take a look at the points in qualifying for RX1 after the 2 sessions.
I mean, he is a perfectionist, Johan Kristoffersson, as you see the standings after Q2, but it's got to be more fun to have to race for it.
Oh, he loves a hard race because he feels he's earned it. He really loves it. Kristoffersson with the win in Q1. Tepainen, 17 years old with the win in Q2. Just brilliant. Bakkerud looked good consistency, a P3 and a P2. Veiby a P2 and a P4. Then you got Rukkanen, again consistently in that P5, it looks like. Baumanis Trepak, so impressive. Patrick O'Donovan down in P8, and we can take a look, I think, at some of the drivers further down as well. Kasper Janssen, Rokas Pachuska on his return in P10, Litvinovic and Johannes Raffos, very impressive, Hal.
But the gaps are so close, Andrew. If you look
good
at
result compared to one bad.
Karai 10 places up is 10 points, and that's the one first corner nudge, isn't it? So it's going to be fascinating.
That is the cut-off line. Bear in mind, Ready Munich is gone for the weekend. Fabien Paye hopefully will be out later on today. Mark Tickabar, I don't know what's happened with Tickabar.
I haven't seen Tickabar. I did see Martin Enland, and the reason he pulled off in that race behind August is that the front diff has absolutely detonated itself, so they're going home as well.
Okay, so it might be then that the quarters will definitely happen, but it might be that some of those people who are not having a great weekend are actually going to make it anyway because of those who've missed out. We're in Q3, that's qualifying 3, the 3rd qualifying session. They go out and they race against the cars on track with them, but also, of course, against the clock. So if you need to rallycross, think like athletics. Not everybody runs the 100 metres in one go. That would need to be a very, very wide track. So you go in heats, and the top racers go through, and it's the same here. So you're racing against the other cars in your race, but also against the other drivers in the other races. Fastest time gives you more of those intermediate points that we just took a look at. So 50 if you win the session, 45 and so on. We add them all together, that gives us their intermediate classification and tells you whether or not you've made it through to the knockout stages. Knockout stages will begin tomorrow. Semi-finals for the categories below, and RX1 will have quarter-finals. Need to do a little check on what happens with RX4, because we've only got 8 cars in there, but I wonder if they'll have semi-finals anyway. We'll find out. Okay, Rosrud on the inside line on the pole. Very impressive last year. We haven't seen the best of him yet this season. Of course, we are only 2 races in so far. We've got Kovacs, Dufas, Cachor and Ferreira. Kovacs is in P7. Rosrud is in P9. Dufas is in P6. Couture overall is in P8. And Tiago Ferreira's the one to watch. So he, on the outside of the grid, is in P13 at the minute and needs a good result. Hal, have you just taken your coat off when I was standing there with gloves on?
I have just run from the paddock.
Hardcore. He does live up north. That might be it.
Everyone's more northern than you.
That's true, yeah. Actually, yeah, you can't get more south than me, can you, basically? There's a couple of 100 metres south of me, sadly. I'd love to be right on the coast, but we're not quite balling at that level. There we are. OK. I'm going to predict that Hal will have his coat on by the end of this race. On the inside, Rosrud needs a good start, but it's Ferreira right on the outside who needed it and hasn't got it. Couture's got away in front. Couture moves across. Bit of contact, puts the squeeze on. Couture's really being bullish here. Not going to get away with it. Around the outside with a big old send. Oh, didn't get away with it. It was Kovacs. What a shame. Kovacs got on the handbrake and tried to go around the outside. Helen, there's more contact up in turn 3. Oh, no. Around the Rosrud's gone round. Was that contact with Kovacs? I'm not sure. Kovacs had a look up the inside on the run into turn 3.
I was looking at Dufire at the commentary box window with broken steering.
That's the new Polo,
yeah, a mess. And I think you wouldn't see that sort of bundle from more experienced drivers. And everyone's keen to do very well in the first round of the European Championship, but you've got to survive the first couple of corners, haven't you?
It's a season-long thing, this. Yeah, you've got to keep it a bit more sensible. Now, this has worked out well for Ferreira, Hal, because obviously, for a start, some other drivers are not having a good time, which always helps when you're trying to claw your way back up, but also with the carnage, he's up in P2. Here he is, Ferreira running second.
And now it's just about maximising everything you can. We talked earlier in Q1 in the broadcast with Clara Anderson about the damage limitation when you've had a poor first couple of corners. It's about getting your head down, hitting your marks. Okay, your geometry might be slightly off, but it's just about maximising everything you can out of this race. You can't let yourself get your head down because, as you explained before, it's all on overall time, and you don't know what's going to happen in the next race. They could all stop in the next race. You need to maximise every single corner.
Kovac's car sounds brilliant, Hal. You know when a car sounds strong? When it comes out behind us here, he's getting cold already. When it comes out behind us, it's a bad joker call from Hal Ridge. He's taken the coat off too early. Should have waited another lap. Now he's freezing, but he's going to try and man it out. Kovac's with the fastest lap. It sounds strong. When it comes out of turn 2, it just sounds urgent. Have a listen to this on the way out of turn 2. It sounds mega. Hal's taking his headphones off. Doesn't it?
He's been strong for the last few years, and it's so good, isn't it, to see such a variety in RX3. And this is taking nothing away from the amazing job that the Volon Racing team did with the Audis, but they've been so dominant for so long with those cars because that's where all the investment has been made by a team that's willing to do that to try and achieve set promotion with a benchmark. Then Volon came back with the Fabias and then the Audis. Now we've got a big mix again, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? Really cool. Really cool. So Ferreira doing all right here. I might go Joker now and cover it off, and Ferreira does indeed go Joker with 1 lap to go. Good shout. Hal, you often talk about this, leaving it to the last lap if something goes wrong. You know, not ideal. Even following somebody in on the last lap if they block the Joker.
Yeah, you just trip over them and waste an opportunity, don't you? So I always advocate jokering when it's sensible, when you can, and even if you're leading from the front. If you get a puncture, if you've already taken the Joker, you've got a chance of holding the pack back. If you've already got to take an extra route, then you're gone, aren't you?
He's covered Rosrud as well, which I think was important. Couture, worth a mention here in the Suzuki Swift. Again, not something we've seen tons of in Super 1600, other than, of course, back in the days of JWRC.
Yeah, it's done quite a lot in the Hungarian rounds over the years. We've seen a few Swifts from down there, but yeah, brilliant to have some different models, as you say.
Was the Ignis ever made it to Rallycross?
Yeah, there was an Ignis one. Last time I raced in Hungary, there was an Ignis there that day, and I'm trying to remember the name of the driver. It'll come to me.
No, it probably will. Get deep into that hard drive. Kovac's coming around the last corner. The target time is 3:38 for Liber Tiges. It's actually going to be close. It's a good run by Tiges. Tiges maintains the lead in this session, so 3:38.4. There was, though, a bit of a melee in turn 1, which we'll be able to see in just a moment, and I think you might find that that's where a lot of Kovac's time was lost. Hal's putting his jacket back on. He lasted 1 race, I did tell you.
You said by the end of the race.
Oh, OK, so that's your little protest, is it? Kovacs has got it done. Here we go. I love this track. It's very reminiscent of Kouvola in Finland with the trees around it. Samuel Kovacs takes the win. And yeah, it's 4 manufacturers in this. Look, a Skoda, a Ford, a Suzuki, and a Volkswagen. The Volkswagen retiring on first corner. De Fast with broken steering. Rosrud was in the wall for a moment. Couture, Ferreira. And we just need to have a look, Hal, and see what happened in those first couple of corners and try and figure out who was at fault, if anyone. Sometimes it's just a racing incident. Here we go. Right, so turn 1. It's Kovacs here. Watch this. Kovacs dives left and then gets on the bar. Look at this. Bosh on the handbrake. And I loved that. That was great. He ends up on the gravel. So, yeah. Tricky. Big. Is it tricky? I don't know what I think about that one. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's opened the door, isn't he?
He has.
Because there's a diagram, isn't there, where contact is acceptable along the side of the car, at which pillar you can do what, and I think that's probably a bit too early to be in the rear wheel of the car in front.
So you think Kovacs is too...
I think it'll be looked on poorly, but it's tricky there, isn't it, as a driver, because the car's all unloaded to the one side.
Yeah, and
so
also
it only takes a
turn in at some point.
But if you're astute, you do unload someone when you know what's going to happen, don't you? So I'm not saying that's what he did.
No, not at all.
But yeah, I think that'll certainly be looked at.
Okay, one race to go then in RX3. Julian Meunier on the inside, next Nicholas Gellens, Ritis Gerklis. So we've got Mikuzis and Kragas on the outside.
Dufar was unlucky in that last one as we wait for the car to be recovered next to us in the commentary position. He was on the outside, and I think it was Ferreira, wasn't it, in the Ford Fiesta, who just ran that bit wide on the exit, and his rear wheel just contacted the front wheel of Dufar. And I think ultimately it's when you've got the steering open and the wheels protruding from the bodywork. He's had an impact. It's broken the steering arm. I'm sure they'll be back, but disappointing for the Frenchman with his new Polo.
I'll tell you what as well, hats off to the recovery crew here, Hal. They are fast. So you come in with the forks, you chuck it up, then they put a quick ratchet strap on the car, which you can see on the front right corner, and take it away. And I've been at plenty of places where I think the trouble is we get so spoiled in Rallycross, because in Rallycross we have to get to the next race ASAP, particularly with a massive entry. They get very good at doing it. Also, when you work on things like, I don't know, Porsche or Ferrari Challenge, they take a dim view of you sticking a pair of forks underneath the car. Rallycross cars are somewhat better set up for that. Meunier with a good start on the inside line. Middle of the grid was good by Ritis Gerklis too. Gellens has lost out here, but might gain if anyone does anything silly in turn 1. Gellens up to P3. Gerklis does exactly that and drops into the inside line. So Nicholas Gellens gets away. Ritis Gerklis with a spin. That was a carbon copy almost of what Meunier did earlier on today. Cold tyres, turning it on the brakes, gone.
Meunier is so...
nearly Hal. Look, there's going to be a pass here at the back. Almost dropped it into the wall. I think it was Mikuzis. Go on, Mikuzis, sorry, Hal.
Yeah, Meunier is so astute, isn't he? So experienced, had made the start and then started coming over to the right when the corner goes left, just to open up his opportunity. And ultimately, had he not done that, Gerklis probably wouldn't have spun. But that's not to say it's Meunier's fault. He's just had a good launch, and then he's opening the corner up to his advantage. You're long past the area where you have to maintain your line at that point.
Kragas has gone Joker, Hal. I think that's partly to try and cover Gerklis. Obviously, Gerklis has got to Joker, but has probably got more outright pace. No, Kragas is right up there. Kragas, looking at this, you know, we've got 3 Lithuanians in this race. Kragas is P2 in the standings overall. Gerklis is P3. Gellens is flirting with the edge of the curve there, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a dangerous game, that, isn't it? You can go so far, and if you get, especially in a front-wheel drive car, if the rear gets sucked in and the front stay, it's difficult to get back out of it.
Dangerous at turn 3, isn't it? We've seen some big old offs there over the years. If you do get out, and you can kind of bounce the rear off. If the rear bounces your front in, you are going to get turned around.
One of my favourite moments was, do you remember when Timmy Hansen dropped it in the wet to 2016 into turn 3? Big rain, he dropped it on the brakes and he was spinning towards Loeb in his first year as Sébastien Loeb's teammate, and Timmy tells a hilarious story about that, where he's just in the car going, oh no. Really?
Yeah, please don't take out Sébastien Loeb. Yeah, I'm being paid by Peugeot, the French manufacturer. I'm about to wipe out the 9-time World Rally Champion. Would not have been cool, would it? But there we go. So Meunier continues to lead. Meunier is sitting in the TQ spot at the minute with a 9th and a 1st,
which is remarkable, isn't it?
It is. I think goes to show you actually these guys have not been that consistent today.
Well, it's been first corner Bingles constantly, hasn't it? Which has mixed things up quite a lot. But as I said in Q2, Meunier closed the gap so rapidly to the back of the pack in his race. He's done the fastest lap in this one as well, with a 50.3.
Gellens has gone joker. I wonder if this is to cover Gerklis behind Hal. I think he will cover Gerklis off. Yeah, he will. But Gerklis, look, making up big time here. He's not done the fastest lap, Gerklis. That's gone to Meunier with a 50.3. But, yeah, Gerklis is circulating quicker with a 50.5 and a 50.6. Gerklis is on the same pace as Meunier, but obviously trying to make up for that spin in turn one.
And they're both going much quicker than Tejas, who is currently top of the order after the first race of the session. Second race of the session, sorry. No, it was the first race. It was the first race. The second race as well. We've had quite a few RX3 races today. Yeah. But they've been very good, haven't they? They've been very entertaining throughout.
We've had quite a few races today. We'll have to figure it out later. What is it, a session? I don't know, a lot. We've done 3 qualifiers. It's been a good, fun day. I hope you all enjoyed it. Get in the comments, let us know what you think. Who do you think is going to win? YouTube comments, Facebook, Insta, whatever you like, basically. Drop us a DM. I probably won't see it until Monday because it's a bit busy over a race weekend, but we always try and come back to you. It's a good run for Meunier. 3:32.9 is easily enough. 6 seconds, 5.5 seconds quicker. Meunier goes to take the session. That is his second session win, and we'll see him maintain the TQ spot. Behind him, Gellens, Mikuzis, Gerklis and Kragas. Now, Kragas was sitting in P2, and that's probably going to hurt his overall standings. Gerklis was sitting third. Interesting. I wonder if we might see Gellens move up a bit here. But Meunier, 3:32.9. That is also significantly the fastest time. That's 1.5 seconds quicker than he went in Q2. So he's going well here. Gellens, Mikuzis, Gerklis and Kragas. We should have the overalls for you in a minute as well when we've had a look back at the replays. Hal, let's have a look and see what happens in turn one here.
So this is Meunier being very clever here, just moving out to the right to open up the corner for him. He's just forced Gerklis that little bit offline over where the driver of the green and black and white car would like to be, and ultimately it's almost exactly the same as what happened to Meunier, but not quite, because Meunier, I think, dropped a wheel into the gravel.
That was the moment, wasn't it? Mikuzis got away with it and held on to the inside line. Yeah, Gellens did well as well.
Moment earlier on was running way too right and going way too quickly, whereas I think that was just losing it a little bit.
Bit of cold tyres and stuff, isn't it, as well, like the Super 600.
And you don't get any heat in the rear tyres.
No, they do a massive tyre warm, don't they? Gerklis is my favourite for a tyre warm. He takes about an inch off the tyre with a huge wheel spin. Julien Meunier with 2 session wins is in your TQ spot at the minute, and Nicholas Gellens, who was in P5 prior to this session, as we predicted, moves up into P2. But look at the standings down the right-hand side, 123, 122, 121. So basically, between those 2 Lithuanians and our Antiguan friend Nicholas Gellens, it is bang on for those positions. At the minute, they're going to be on the front row in the semis. Kovac, Sousa, Mikuzis, Tejas are your top 8. Let's get ourselves set, shall we, for the big guns. RX1 up next. Here we go. Just got one car potentially missing from this, have we? We know René Munich is out. We know... who else have we lost? Hal will remember.
Martin Enland.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Do we know what's wrong with Munich? Why he's out?
A technical problem in pre-practice.
But we don't know what.
No, I haven't been told that.
No, fair enough. Teams can be a bit secretive
about
that.
Generally they keep themselves, don't they? The all-England squad.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. And Paye is not here. That's gutting, isn't it? So that's easy game over though. Thing is here, the irony, mind you, how many sessions does he have to do to qualify for the quarters? I'm not sure on that. We'll check the regulations.
One, I think, based on previous. Yeah,
so it might be able to get in still, but they haven't managed to get that car going today after an engine issue in FP1. You get the feeling that they might be regretting it now and just thought, well, we'll struggle on with it for the next couple. So Zoltan Konchek on the inside, Ollie O'Donovan in the middle, and on the outside, Mandy August. Ollie needs a good run here.
They all do.
Yeah. Good start on the inside for Zoltan Konchek. Mandy August trying to come around the outside of Ollie O'Donovan. Ollie holds on to that P2, gives a little nudge on the exit too. So Ollie chasing down towards turn 1, Zoltan Konchek. Sideways again from Ollie. Ollie doesn't have... How much seat time has he got in this car? Barely any, has he?
So he drove at Mondello Park last year when Patrick was driving, which is the same car. He drove it at... it's had a full rebuild since, but he drove it at Mondello while Patrick was away doing Extreme E, Extreme H.
Yes, and they changed the dampers on both cars.
They are doing now, well, they have done now, yes. But the test, they evaluated it on Patrick's car.
So we would have driven it last year on the old dampers then,
yes.
And
but yeah, I think you use the same base setup, don't you? So there's always learning to do, isn't there? But Ollie was wildly quick in this car with absolutely no pressure in the British Championship round in Mondello Park last year. And of course, it just takes a little bit of time to get up to speed, certainly on this track. And I would say this is not a circuit where Ollie's driving style would necessarily suit.
I've sat with Ollie. He's a very good driver. He loves a bit of sideways, and yeah.
You've got to be patient, haven't you? Which is not something he's incapable of. But you've also got to be super clean and tidy. And Ollie's very good at the moving the car around, getting it set up, much like Konchek is, to be fair. And yeah, this circuit is not about that. You've got to be squeaky clean, super accurate, the sort of thing that you see from Kristoffersson, Bakkerud, O'Donovan, those guys right at the front of the order.
Yeah, Patrick O'Donovan we're talking about there. So
and of course, Ollie's, you got no bones about it. He's one of the oldest drivers in the field, if not the oldest driver in the field. And when you're racing 17-year-olds in Yoni to Pinen, there's a big gap there.
Just looking down the list now, Ollie is 59. I'm trying to see yesterday. Attila Moses not here, he's 50. So Ollie's made a mistake. He's right next to us in turn 2. He got 2 sideways, so he's taking his choke lap now, and he's ahead of Mandy August. But that's going to be Zoltan Konchek spotters now. Should be on the radio saying, look, Ollie's made a mistake, and that would mean then that he can back off a little bit. But of course, he still wants to get a good time and be as far up the order as he can. So O'Donovan is being scored manually, we're hearing, by timing, meaning that the transponder's not picking up, so they literally tap a button when he comes through.
But it also means that the data doesn't necessarily go to the graphics machine in the OB truck for the TV as it might do otherwise.
Correct.
Konchek into the Joker, a little bit scruffy on the entry to the final corner, had to turn out of it, but still did a reasonable job. And this is about Zoltan Konchek doing everything he can to climb back up the order.
Yeah, Hal, just to run through, Vucic is 52, Karai is 52, Rennie Munich is 49, Pleskova is 48, Mandy August. No, not fair. We never talk about a lady's age. I'm not going to do that. That's good of me, isn't it? But Ollie, so Ollie is the oldest driver in the field, and he is a hell of a sender. He's also a lovely bloke, and it's great to see him here in this car. So I'm glad to have him and Patrick. Also nice to see a father-son team out there competing together. But Konchek is going to get this one done. Last year's winner in Hungary. Who was it that was in the last corner with? Was it Libertainen?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was. And just got up the insides, great joke emerged there, and he came around that last corner, and just the whole place went off. It was another one of those, hairs on the back of your neck moment when everyone started cheering. Hungarian winner at home, his first and only ever win in the European Championship so far, but got it done.
Good job.
Drone team and extras, how look, he's got his hat up and his hood up and everything. It is a bit potatoes. That's rhyming slang for cold, by the way, if you're wondering. Zoltan Konchek, there's it. Thumbs up from Zoltan, I like that. Ollie O'Donovan, P2, might have been a bit closer, I think, had he not had that little issue in turn 2. And they're looking at the tyre barrier as well in turn 2, maybe a little bit of contact with it. Mandy August with P3.
There's a stream of RX3 drivers crossing the track in front of us, clutching their laptops, heading to race control.
Everybody's in trouble. What do you think they've done, Hal? Something.
Rallycross.
Yeah, what have you done? Rallycross, yeah, you're right.
Kasper Janssen leaning on the side of the 208 WRX. Litvinovich behind.
So at the minute, Hal, Poirier is still in. Tikabar, we haven't seen, have we? So I'm assuming he's out at the minute.
But he's also
gone.
Estonian, so he can probably go home and get some bits, can't they?
He could do overnight, yeah. So we'll see in the morning, but at the minute we're only one car away from everybody qualifying for the quarters. Pleskova is missing from this one, apparently, as well. So they're, I wouldn't say they're dropping like flies, but it's...
old school rate of attrition at the moment, isn't it?
But you know what? Isn't it great to have a big entry? Because if you had this rate of attrition when you've only got 7, 8, 10 cars...
it makes a massive difference.
Yeah, it just... And it also gives us that thing again of a bit of jeopardy. Oh, I don't think I'm going to make it. Hang on a minute, he hasn't made it. Now I am going to make it. Pleskova not on the grid. Then it's Vucic, Larsen and Oliveira. Okay, we get things underway. I'm trying so hard not to sneeze. It's cold out here. I had one lined up there. I thought I was going to have to hand over to Hal for a second, which is perfectly capable, but yeah. Sneezing on air, I don't think I've ever done it in 15 years. Maybe this weekend's the one. Ferreira on the outside with a good start. Pucic inside as well. Ferreira goes the long way round. Keeps it out of the wall. Larsen gets up the inside. Sorry, Oliveira, my bad, Oliveira.
Pucic looks to the inside into turn 3, thinks better of it, gets in the brakes. Larsen turns in late, hard on the throttle. The rear of the Polo still moving around, maybe not quite as much as it was
He's having a good
earlier
time,
on.
isn't he, Larsen? He's in. Oh, now he's in touch. Maybe we should call him Larsen. Yes, Hal! Great minds think alike. Larsen to go, especially as Martin Sendland is unfortunately going home. Larsen at the back of this one, he's taking the place. So Oliveira, look, I tell you what, Larsen is close to the barrier there. Pucic goes Joker now, so maybe thinks that he's got a bit more pace and can find a way through.
In fairness, all of the drivers in here have a potential to be a bit sandy, don't they? Oliveira gets the car turned in, turns out again, washes right to the outside and a little bit more, chops the nose off Larsen, who's had the bonnet pushed up in the little nudge he's had at some point, first corner, I guess.
Larsen's car looks really strong, I know, but he gave me a number yesterday, which I won't say on air, of what they'd spent to get it back into perfect condition, and it was absolutely mint. But it was
about restoring supercars.
Yeah, it was not.
Oh, touches the barrier on the left-hand side.
It was a lot of money, Hal.
He's
but it looked
sideways.
strong. Oh, there, look, just that's about getting out on the dirty line. There is still some loose out there, but it's so far offline now.
Yeah, restoring supercars is not the cheapest thing ever. He's decided not to Joker. This is Oliveira trying to cover off Ale Pucic, which I think he's going to do just, but it's going to be close.
I'm not sure. He's made a mistake there, having the right hand, and now he loses the rear. As the spoiler has gone, is it? Yeah, it is. So that could be interesting, might affect the car a little bit. Up the inside, Pucic trying to find a way through, but Oliveira doesn't let him go. Oliveira, yeah, you're right, has lost the whole top element of the wing. Has he lost the rear quarter as well? No, down this side. No, it's
just flapping about.
Flapping about in the background. So, and in the background again, Pucic is sideways. Pucic with the fastest lap. Must be able to see. I wonder how this will fly over the jump.
Exactly what I was thinking. Your spotter will have had to let you know a little bit. The aerodynamics don't do a massive job usually, but certainly over the jump they'll have a difference.
What's going to happen? Yeah, on the nose, but not too hard. That is the sort of thing you're not going to know, is it, without being told, basically. Oliveira and Pucic are both Joker. This is playing into the hands of Larsen out front. Hope he likes his new nickname. Happy birthday to his wife, by the way. It was her birthday on Friday. I don't know if she was over the moon about spending it in a cold paddock. Luckily, that day was quite sunny and she was just outside having a good time. When was Friday? Yesterday?
Yeah, at least Shatter must have got her something nice, so they'll have enjoyed their time here. I must dish out some apologies. I barely looked at my phone today, but I have had a couple of messages. Just seen one from Alex Hall, who's in his garage at home, berating us because they're not getting anything done, because they're
too much rallycross
to the stream, which is absolutely brilliant, and just shows how entertaining the racing has been so far today.
It's been good, hasn't it? I think there's a lot of hype coming into this weekend. We know that. We did have a beer last night. And we're like, I hope it's really good, because it's been a lot of hype. But actually, I think it's been great. I love the stories. I'm excited about quarterfinals tomorrow. I'm excited about RX4. And I said actually, how when you went here, we've got a few messages about that. Going to be close. Larsen with Oliveira around the outside. Oliveira missing the rear wing. Will look for the inside cutback. Larsen gets on the gas. It's close, but Larsen gets it. Oh, and then almost drops it. Is he going to go for another lap? And Larsen nearly went for another lap. He's having so much fun. He flung it through turns 1 and 2. Air horns go off at the crowd because basically he was sending McSenderson into the left-hander. Opens the door. Nice one. So Kjetil Larsen, Jose Oliveira and Ale Pucic. Yesterday, when he had his picture taken, he's going, well, I don't know why I need to do the number one. I'm not going to win anything. Is you? Well, you won today, mates. We used the photo the following day. But yeah, great stuff. We were trying to make him laugh, weren't we? He's being a bit too serious in the pictures, so we were ripping into him, which is pretty standard practice. Right.
Had a good initial launch, Kjetil, and then just didn't quite have the pace down into the first corner. That's where the bonnet got pushed up, where he gave Oliveira a little bit of a shove in the rear. Into turn 2, and then it all sort of just sorted itself out. But as we saw later on, Oliveira, having run wide a few times, lost the rear spoiler. This is where it's going to come off.
Oh, mate, I hope nobody ran that over, because that's a pricey part, isn't it?
Yeah, it's also not in great shape now after barrel rolling down the Joker lap.
No, it's not ideal for your car.
Kjetil.
Kjetil ran it over on the last lap. How could you? He will know how much a carbon rib spoiler costs, and it's again, it is a number with 3 zeros on the end of it at least. So that's a shame. Maiko Tam, Ulrich Linnemann, Nils Volland and Mark Moser in this next one. Moser with a good result last time out. We've got a few 4-car heats now where we've had these people drop out. And I say in the morning, we'll have a bit of an idea about who's going to be back in. Patrick O'Donovan down there now, was in commentary earlier. Now he's having a chat with O.C. Vavy and Johan Kristoffersson. You see it's good banter. He spent a lot of time with Johan, of course, in the Extreme E paddock where Patrick was the reserve driver until he ended up with a proper drive. Maiko Tam on the inside. Gets a great launch, so does Nils Volland. Volland should shut the door here on Ulrich Linnemann. Mark Moser going to try and come around the outside. Linnemann up the inside here of Volland, but has he bashed him in the run into it? The bonnet is up, and yeah, he has. Linnemann's run into the back there of Volland in the run into the second corner, because you can see the rear left corner of Volland's car is smoking away. And the front right corner of Linnemann's is crippled up.
It was actually to turn one, and there's all the telltale signs there, as you correctly say. The bonnet's pushed up on Linnemann's, and you can't get out of it then, can you? Because
it wasn't me, Your Honour. I think it might have been.
You've got to be careful now as well. If it's broken the bonnet pin on Linnemann's car, whether the bonnet comes up or not.
You can smell the Hoosier rubber in the air as it's being rubbed thoroughly off in that background with Nils Volland's bumper.
Applying the pressure to Maiko Tam though. Oh, Linnemann takes a massive chunk of curb. You've got to be careful doing that over the Riga curbs, because you risk getting a puncture or even damaging a wheel, being that aggressive. But Tam doesn't have the pace here, does he? Linnemann, who acknowledges that he doesn't really like this circuit, doesn't suit his driving style, is all over the back of the relatively local driver.
Linnemann, he's got a bit of a wiggle on here, hasn't he? Linnemann's getting into this. It's great to see Ulrich here. I'm just trying to think where he is overall. So he was doing all right before. He did drop down to P16. Yes. So say 24 go through to the quarters, remember, but still, the further up that order you are, the more likely you are to make it through to the semis, and then it really counts. There is a lot of jeopardy at stake tomorrow, even when qualifying is finished. But yeah, good to see them all getting a bit of a press on. Linnemann's early on the throttle, isn't he? He lost the start. Doesn't look as good in the start as some of the more modern cars.
I would have joked then as Linnemann.
Would you?
Yeah, Moser's a bit too close though, perhaps, and maybe that's what they're wary of. But Volland has gone and will drop into free air behind.
It's not a bad idea, I think. Is he going to drop him? It depends, doesn't it, how quickly he catches Mark Moser. But Mark Moser, I say, went well in the last session.
I can hear a split boost pipe somewhere. I thought I could hear my cans. Just took my headset off as Linnemann came out of turn 2. You can hear a whistling noise, can't you? I don't know if you can hear that at home on the broadcast. I can hear it in my headphones. I'm sure Linnemann's got some sort of intercooler leak.
Yes, you can hear it there big time. So he might be. Yeah, he's dropping away. How rich! Look at that. What was it you said before? Eyes of a bat, but
that was years ago. they're even worse now.
That's what I mean. Eyes of a bat. Luckily, he's also got the ears of a bat, and he's picked up a split turbo boost with his sonic radar hearing. How rich! What a fine specimen of a human he is.
What a shame for Linnemann, though, because he had great pace then. He was really hassling the back of Maiko Tam.
And it's going to drop him right down. He say he was P16 prior to this, so it's not going his way right now. So on to the final lap. Tam leads by 2.6. Volland has joked, and he's caught up with Moser, so it hasn't worked out.
No, I was totally wrong on that joker strategy for Linnemann. He did the right thing by staying out, because Volland did go in, and with Moser not jokering, Volland's also a gent and isn't about to force his way through, as we saw earlier.
Through there with Moser a bit sideways. Starting to rubber in at the back part of the track, isn't it? Although any of the loose stuff's been long cleaned off, it's starting to blue groove up a bit as well.
I was just thinking that you call it blue groove in the States, don't you? Is that blue groove?
No,
because
not really.
It's not
That's
really
just
dirt.
Rubber on tarmac for me. Yeah, blue groove is where it's mad, isn't it? I always think it's weird how you can get a proper black rubber line on dirt, but that's the way it goes. Trying to think where we get it. In Barcelona, we used to get it. You see a proper blue groove in Barcelona, didn't you, on top of the dirt there?
You see it in oval autocross racing a lot in the UK as well, just where the tyres move, especially when you've got a very soft tyre and the tyre's moving around a lot and it's depositing itself
paints the
on
dirt,
the ground.
Doesn't it? Tam with a little check of the steering there as he came off, so I don't know if he just feels there might be some damage. You saw him just move the steering left and right. He does go quickest, but only by 0.2 of a second ahead of Konchek. Volland P2, Moser P3, Linnemann P4. Go on, Hal.
Maiko looks very pleased with that result.
He does, doesn't he? He looks as pleased with that result every day until we take another photo, which we might well do. It is cool, though, isn't it? A lot of effort goes into all this, just so you guys know. People were taking pictures yesterday. Huber was on the headshots and then cutting them out last night. Tien, I think that was, and then it's the graphics machine with Matt. Like, there's a team of people who are working really hard to bring you this coverage, so I hope you appreciate them. It's me and Hal who gets through the pointy bit, but there's a big team of people behind us, and they've worked very hard this morning to get everything right for us. So good effort by them. Maiko Tama, big understeer, isn't there, on the exit there? Is that turn 1 to 2, I think it is. And ultimately how the move that Linnemann made in turn 1, which damaged the two cars, was cost him dear, didn't it, with the split intercooler? Yeah, and that could cost him dear come the quarterfinals, because he was fairly low down as it was. Łukasz Baciuszka on the pole next to Damian Litvinovic, Tamas Karai and Anton Seppa in this one. Karai is currently sitting P13, Seppa is sitting P17. So yeah, where's Litvinovic and Baciuszka? Baciuszka is, Litvinovic is 11th, and Baciuszka is, where is Baciuszka? Is he on pace 2?
He's 10th.
10th. Why can't I read 10th? Yes, I can. There he is. You're dead right. So him and Damien, P10 and P11 next to each other. Listen to that. What a wonderful noise. Baciuszka on the inside. Sounded like it was going to be a little bit of a bomb there, but Baciuszka gets away. Litvinovic as well. Karai with Seppa coming around the outside. Seppa tries to do the whole way round, but doesn't. Litvinovic drops back, but he's fighting back on the exit now. Litvinovic looking for the inside line, and Karai into turn 3, but Karai holds on to P2, runs a bit wide. Litvinovic might have another look again on turn 4 here, but he's not close enough, and Seppa drops in behind him. So Baciuszka with a great start there.
Seppa living to fight another day there, had the option, as you say, of going right around the outside, but he came out of the throttle early on and decided to tuck in behind. Karai runs deep after the jump.
Litvinovic go Joker, yes,
sure,
good shout.
Oh, and he's run wide. Litvinovic has run wide into the Joker. Couldn't get it stopped, was on the left into the loose gravel, on the grass now.
He did better than Klonchek at least, didn't he?
Yeah, kept it out of the wall, which is what you need to do. So Tierney Oliver, our social media manager, just messaged me saying that the championship's running a poll to see who the fans will finish as overnight leader in RX1. 57% of those votes are for Johan Kristoffersson, 14% for Joni Tapainen, 19% for Andreas Bakkerud, and 11% for something else, or someone else. There's a lot to play out, and it'll be really interesting to see how Kristoffersson gets on starting in the middle of the pack.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But you know, even getting a good start there doesn't guarantee you getting the whole shot, does it? So Johan, as you said, really enjoyed it, but going to be interesting for sure.
Baciuszka's really moving the rear of the Hyundai around as he lands from the jump there. They were doing a lot of work, Andrew, when I was down there doing the interview with him. They were changing, he didn't allude to it at all, but they were changing roll bars on the rear, springs on the front. And he was saying, in a quick chat I had with him, I can't remember what he said in the interview, but he was saying it's so different here to the race he did at Montellegro with the car. They went to Lohéac and tested, but the grip levels are very different there as well. He's just not feeling it, but he knows the car is good, and he knows that if he can get the setup to where he wants, he think it can be very, very good. And it just shows what a fine balance it is to get the car to your liking underneath it.
Yeah, and that isn't that your liking is not necessarily somebody else's. And you change one thing, change the tyres, change the surface, change the weather, and it's not right again. And that you've got to do. That's why the teams do so much running when they can. You remember what Neil said to you about KMS? Like, it was hard work. The testing was hard work up till midnight. All the rest of it. Get the data, analyse the data, make the change, compare it.
But you can also get lost in making all those changes. You've got to be astute enough to make the changes and be aware of what is changing what. And yeah, that's what makes the difference between a very good team and a team that's just good.
But and also there's the cost, isn't there, and the consistency. So someone like Johan could go in and bang in lap after lap after lap and get those laps super consistent to tenths of a second. If you're not consistent enough, sometimes you can't measure the difference anyway. It's really hard testing.
Yeah, the track changes, as you say, all the time. So like, just
you're actually as well testing. A lot of drivers will tell you it sounds like brilliant fun, but a lot of people are like, no, it's ever so boring. You know, they wanted to do a sweep of all the roll bars, not necessarily the most fun day out. I mean, I'll have a go at it if you like. Baciuszka going to take this one. Karai is with him. Litvinovic on the outside. I don't think he's going to get there. Over the line, Baciuszka crosses it with a 3:22.2. And that is enough to see him top of the session by miles. 5.2 seconds. So that is a long way up immediately.
But he did a 3:22.4 and a 3:26.1 in the first two. So that's about on the pace that he had had earlier on, and we can actually judge that as we see the race result. Bakuska ahead of Karai, Litvinovich and Seppa, because the track's not really changing
here, isn't it? Yeah.
where so often the track's so different you can't compare session to session.
Yeah, you wouldn't see that at Lousada, would you? No, it changes a lot, the ruts are different and all the rest of it. So let's take a look at the replays. Shout out to Nicholas Gellens, by the way, bless him. He came to the commentary box a minute ago to come and have a chat with us, and we just don't have time. There's so many cars that we don't have time to talk to him today, so we'll try and get him in on another day when we have a good gap for him to come in as a guest. He's about to go racing. Litvinovich there, that might have cost him P2, Hal.
So this is what maybe caught Konchek. The gravel's on the right, so he's carried too much speed in. I think the gravel's on the right-hand side where the car's running deep, and then it's carried him over to the left.
Latvian fans, look at that. That is Mr. Balmanis, his #1 fan at the front there, I think, with the big flag. There is the man himself. So Yanis Balmanis, his main flag man, has made it all the way down to our camera at turn 3. Camera 2, he's next to, with his Yanis Balmanis outfit and that Latvian flag. Balmanis, Hal, isn't it 2 from 2 so far?
It is
and then
indeed.
straight away they start cheering when it's appeared up on the screen. So Yanis Balmanis on the pole with Johannes Raffos next to him, who's having a brilliant run. Kasper Janssen making his debut here, as well as Raffos's. Trepak only on his 2nd ever event, and on the outside, Patrick O'Donovan, a previous European champion. Let's go. So can Balmanis get another win here? If he does well in turn 1, see if you can see in the back of the shot what happens in the grandstand in turn 3, because it's just fantastic. You won't have long to wait. Here we go. Revs up, the anti-lag banging away. Wait for that green light. There's a big old launch down to turn 1. Who's got a good start here? Trepak looks to have done. He shuts the door one way, but Balmanis has done it again. And the crowd are going mad behind us. Gets a tap though. Balmanis nearly turned around, holds on to it, comes across up the inside. Trepak, Balmanis pushed out wide again. Patrick O'Donovan up to P3. Oh, he goes inside Trepak. O'Donovan making hay here, big time. Balmanis going to follow him through. Yanis Balmanis inside. Trepak 2. Trepak gets mugged big time. What a shame for the Hungarian driver.
How did Yanis Balmanis hold on to that?
I do not know.
Broadside in turn 2. He was then super sideways, hard in the throttle on the way down to 3. That was absolutely wild. Great racing though from O'Donovan, from Trepak, from Balmanis to race so closely, but not fire each other off.
Yeah, brilliant. And Raffos is out front. Johannes Raffos here on his debut. He's 18 years old. It's a borrowed car within the family. Patrick O'Donovan behind him. Previous European champion 2024. O'Donovan will want to wait through here, but at the minute they have to wait. Trepak's gone joker early. I'll see if Trepak's got any damage as he comes past us here. Looks okay, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks okay from here. It's certainly nothing seriously bad.
Oh, Raffos dropped a wheel on the exit of turn 3, so he is trying very, very hard indeed. And he runs a bit deep. Patrick looking inside. Balmanis is right there if anything else happens in this one.
If anyone can make an opportunity here, it's Patrick O'Donovan. He's so good at finding a gap that doesn't necessarily exist to other drivers. Raffos is driving a bit defensive. This is going to harm O'Donovan's time. He can't. I think the traffic's too much, Andrew. You've got to stay out and try and make the move, and this is why the joker strategy is so exciting.
So Balmanis has gone. Is he going to come out in front of Trepak or not? If he hasn't, then it was a bad decision. If he does, then maybe. So Patrick's still trying to find him, but he can't. Looks inside again. Does Balmanis come out in front of Trepak? Balmanis just holds on to Trepak's P4.
There's big damage on the door of Patrick O'Donovan's car. See if you can see it on this shot here.
Fastest lap, Kasper Janssen, look, 48.0. Go on, Hal, yeah, there's a lot of damage.
Right, Kasper Janssen, haven't we? He's just there doing his own
chance.
thing in the background.
And he's doing a good job. It's his debut in this series.
Raffos is doing a great job,
Yeah,
more than
amazing.
anyone. He's holding off the 2024 European champion in a brilliant car against a car built at home, and O'Donovan is doing everything he can to find a way past.
No, he does.
Right.
So this is a bit of a risk, but he's got to go. Kasper Janssen's done the quickest lap. Kasper might not get in his way, but he had to go there. He's going to cover off, or try to cover off in the back. Oh, Patrick's a bit untidy. It's an O'Donovan-style joker there, but he holds on. And look at Balmanis, he's closer than you think he was going to be, Hal.
Now he has to get his head down and nail this lap, does Patrick O'Donovan, to try and get back ahead of Raffos. But this shows the pace that Raffos has been going at, that they've been pulling away from these drivers behind.
Wonderful onboard there, watching Patrick O'Donovan in front. And yes, I'd love to follow this a bit. Just look at the way the car moves around, and you just get to see a bit more. Look at the inputs. You're on board with Yanis now. Through it. Look. Watch when they get on the throttle. Now be patient. Wait. And then away they go. Time to beat 3:22.255 at Bachuska. Leads the session at the minute. So Donovan trying really hard. He gets the wheel on the dirt on the inside line. Raffos goes Joker. So Raffos and Kasper Jansen into the Joker lap together. O'Donovan on the inside line. We're on the final lap. Through the right-hander, Raffos. Can he hold on? The 18-year-old. Patrick O'Donovan coming around the outside. He'll look for the inside on the comeback. Raffos holds it in tight. Johannes Raffos with a brilliant heat race win.
Jansen and Bakkerud side by side over the line as well behind. What a great fight.
What a great track this is at the merge. Hal, I love the Joker merge here because you get that jeopardy of, do I want to go inside or outside? Raffos did brilliantly there. Patrick as well, so opportunistic with the carnage in turn one. That was a proper rallycross race. Great stuff. I'm having a good time. I'm banging the desk. I hope you're having a good time at home. I hope you've enjoyed today. What a brilliant... Johannes Raffos continues to impress on his debut in the European Championship. We're sitting in P12. He's just won his race there ahead of Patrick O'Donovan, Jannis Bellmanis, Kasper Jansen and Andor Trepak. And that's going to see him with a 3:24 point, what is it, how, 0.7? I think he's going to slot into 4th place. Not bad.
And I have to say, Andrew, the experience showing of O'Donovan not to lose his head in that fight and
totally.
to sit there and know that getting to the end is important. So let's have a look back at what happened at the start. So Trepak comes across, O'Donovan comes across more. Bellmanis was already sideways and then got a nudge in the rear. He did, for sure.
So have a look at this. Have a look. So watch Bellmanis, the lead car at the minute. Who taps him? No one. He drops it on the dirt.
He's had to get on the one. He's had to get on the handbrake to get the rear rotated. And then he's had a small tap with Raffos.
He did a good job. And then he gets a second tap, but he won't have known necessarily O'Donovan. Look at this on the handbrake, on the gas. Now look at this. 600 horsepower unleashed. He's on the limiter both ways.
That's where the damage to the sill and the door on O'Donovan's Peugeot happened as well.
Look at Patrick, how hard he was on the gas there.
Bellmanis goes as well.
Good move.
Forces the move up the inside on Trepak.
Good move. And that's where Trepak got mugged a bit because he got squeezed against the barrier, didn't he? Have a look at this, Hal. Talk us through the merge, because this is one of my favourite merges.
I think I made a noise when they were side by side, because O'Donovan was just far enough back on the main lap to make it be really close.
Look at this.
Look at O'Donovan get the rear turned in to try and get up the inside of Raffos, but Raffos got a great drive out of the corner behind.
Look, oh, who got it? Who'd got it? Was it Bellmanis? I didn't even see the timing screen to see.
It was Bellmanis, yeah, just ahead of Jansen on the timing screen.
He's ahead of Jansen by 18 hundredths of a second. He was ahead. That might be how tight the tyre wrap was on the transponder. Okay, one last race today. It's been a long day, but it's been a good day. This is yeah. What would Andreas Bakkerud say? Today is a good day because today is a race day. He's in this one next to Tapainen, who won Q2. Kristoffersson is in the middle of the grid. Then you got his teammate Ossi Baby alongside him, and Juha Rutkinen. It is the same 5 drivers that were in the last heat race last time round. Kristoffersson lost the start, but did a brilliant job to fight back and try and make it there in this one. So, oh, and everybody nearly bogged there. Everybody too low on the RPM. Kristoffersson's gone backwards again. 3 wide. Rutkinen gets a tap, goes sideways on the bar, pulls it back the other way. Rutkinen holds shot to Painen, trying to go around the outside. Johan Kristoffersson on the inside of Baby again. Down in P4 again. Kristoffersson makes a pass again. Is that Baby? It is. Can't get it done this time.
No, shut the
Slots
door.
in. Bakkerud going around the outside of Johan Kristoffersson. Can he hold on to that position? Bakkerud's gone past both of them. Baby and Kristoffersson with contact.
Baby booked. Something happened on the exit of turn 4, and Kristoffersson got boxed in behind him again. Johan got boxed in. Bakkerud got around the outside.
What do you do now, Hal? What do you do? Strategy.
Joker Kristoffersson, if Bakkerud doesn't go. Joker Kristoffersson, he will definitely go in.
Okay, there we go. So you always said if he loses the start, he goes. Now Kristoffersson is going to hunt. But remember that race with Ekström and Kristoffersson at Höljes. One of them went early. Everybody else responded on the very next lap and to cover him off. I reckon you might see people jokering earlier here than you would expect.
For sure, you have to cover him off. You cannot give Johan Kristoffersson free air. I've said that so many times in the last few years. Don't know if the car sounds amazing, to be honest, coming out of turn 2. We'll have to see it again, but I wonder what happened with Baby down here, because he lost a load of pace. Did he just miss a gear? Tapainen's backing up his teammate that little bit. Bakkerud actually closed on the pair of them as well.
Right, so who's going to go Joker here? The gap back to Kristoffersson at the minute is 4.9 seconds.
Kristoffersson's flying, Andrew, 12.9 in the opening sprint,
they've got to go now. Got to Joker now if you want to cover him off. Okay, Rutkinen's gone. Bakkerud hasn't. I would have gone there, Hal. Bakkerud has not gone, Baby.
Half a second. Kristoffersson's taken out of Tapainen in the middle sector of this lap alone.
Rukkonen's done the right thing here, and it's actually going to compromise Johan as well.
And he's a teammate of the race leader, and they have to work together. These drivers have to start working together this season if they want to.
Rukkonen with a mistake. Tapanen, sorry, with a mistake. Bakkerud's now all over the back of him. Tapanen made a mistake in turn 2. Andreas Bakkerud looking for a pass on the run up to turn 3. Looks up the inside, but he won't hit his teammate Tapanen. Veiby right there with them. Absolute box office seat for him. Onto the brakes, look into that right-hander. They have to be so patient.
Tapanen's got a problem, Andrew, front right puncture or something, because he's
Bakkerud
so close.
past him. Veiby goes inside as well in the background. That's massively played into Rukkonen and Kristoffersson's hands. You can't joker now, there isn't enough time. That's cost him big time.
No, they had to joker Tapanen, though, to get him out of Rukkonen's way on overall time.
Andreas couldn't joker. They haven't got enough of a gap, have they?
They haven't, no.
Rukkonen could take this.
And now the teammates are out of the question, aren't they? Because Veiby's in no man's land. This is all about what Bakkerud can do relative to the two drivers at the back of your shot.
So watch then, there's two battles here. Rukkonen and Kristoffersson, potentially for the win. The gap we think is 1 point. The average joker is only actually 1.2, Hal. So at the minute they could still do this. This is going to be an absolute banger of a race finish.
It's going to be tight, isn't it?
Maybe on Rukkonen there.
So patient, Johan, even though he's in this bun fight, he's just waiting and waiting, not doing anything rash.
It's going to come down to the last corner again. This could be really good. Remember last time round, Bakkerud
I think Rukkonen's going to do it.
Into the joker lap on the inside line. Rukkonen is there as well. So Andreas Bakkerud with OC Veiby on the outside. Rukkonen and Kristoffersson. I don't think they're close enough. Rukkonen's got to keep the door shut here. Bakkerud will try and find a way through. Rukkonen takes the session, surely. 322.8, is it enough? No, Baciuska's taken the session, so the racing was enough that Łukasz Baciuska has won Q3. Juha Rukkonen wins this race ahead of Kristoffersson, who somehow, again, brilliant fight back from Johan. Tapanen with an issue which I'm gutted about, How can we see what it is?
No,
so much going.
It's not a puncture. I looked out of the commentary box window. Difficult to say. Don't know. What a race.
Rukkonen with the P1, 322.8, but it's not quite enough because Baciuska was at 322.2 and he slots into P2. Kristoffersson is third overall in the session, second in this race. Andreas Bakkerud ends up fifth in the session, third in this, and then it's Veiby and Joni Tapanen. Tapanen, I'm gutted for him because he was right up there in the mix. Now we're going to find out what's going on with the points at the end of this. Right, here we go, Hal. Knock us out, go.
Kristoffersson, poor start, that's the first thing.
But they all bogged.
Rukkonen turns in, gets over-rotated, on the handbrake the other way. Tapanen gets up the inside.
Look at this. Now Kristoffersson is alongside Veiby, hits Veiby twice trying to find a way through.
The contact with Veiby was hard between the two of them, wasn't it? Then he sinks it back up the inside of Veiby. Veiby's got great momentum around the outside.
Now he backs out of it, doesn't he? He has to. He can't.
Bakkerud here, though. Something happened to Veiby.
Yeah, you're right.
He lost loads of ground. Bakkerud got around the outside.
So Rukkonen turned across Bakkerud. We didn't see that, did we, from the other angle? Bakkerud can't disappear.
That was big contact between the two polos, wasn't it? Kristoffersson's car's spitting flames relentlessly, isn't it?
Good stuff there from Veiby to be ballsy and just to go for it and hold on. And then Johan, of course, here, watch this. Bog.
Thank you very much. I'll go around the outside. Perfect for Andreas Bakkerud at that stage.
Super calm on the throttle on the exit as well, Hal, wasn't he? Didn't then jump on the throttle. And this is him up the inside of Tapanen, and Veiby goes with him. So Tapanen, we know, has got an issue by now, but we don't know what. We'll find out ahead of tomorrow. And Rukkonen, the big thing, Hal, was what we said. When Kristoffersson went joker on lap 1, you have to respond. And the only person who responded was Rukkonen. Actually, they could have done more damage by sending a couple of cars in there and getting out in front of Johan. But there we go. This is what it takes to beat an 8-time world champion. You've got to gang up on him. Over the line, Rukkonen takes the race, but as we said, it's not quite enough. So the win in that session went to Łukasz Baciuska, which is a brilliant effort when you look at the previous ones. Yes, there was fighting, but Baciuska's time was good. Johan Kristoffersson is your overnight TQ, but he has not had it all his own way. Andreas Bakkerud gets up to P2, Ola Christian Veiby P3, Rukkonen, Baciuska, Tapanen, Baumanis, and Patrick O'Donovan, the 24 champion, doing a good job. Baumanis is way further up than I think he would have been. Trepak, so impressive. Litvinovic, Karai, Janssen, so impressive. Rastov, so impressive. Maiko Tam is in the mix, Nils Volland, Anton Sepper. These so many new names, Hal. Look at the grin on your face. It's just mint. Fuchik, Larsen and Mandy August at the minute going to make the cut. Pleskavas, Enland, Paye. We know that Enland is done for the weekend, so is Munich. Tickerby, Paye and Pleskavas we'll find out tomorrow. Look at the gaps though. Sheffield Larsen could still go, so could Fuchik, so could Mandy August if they get a good result tomorrow. So this has been a very fun start to the 2026 FIA European Rallycross Championship, hasn't it?
I told you yesterday in the paddock what we did, and when we previewed the weekend, that this will be unpredictable. What would the odds be on Johan Kristoffersson, Joni Topainen and Rokas Bakuska taking the top times in each of the 3 qualifiers today? And it could be anyone's tomorrow morning, couldn't it, based on how it's been so far?
Well, look at this way. Johan didn't get the start right in 2 of these. That last one, I've never heard 5 supercars get it wrong, because to me, everybody bogged.
I don't think they all did. I think that
just perfect RPM.
How good the RPM drop is on the set have clearly got the launches dialed, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Because KMS couldn't beat them off the line again.
Twice.
But that is just perfect, and that's what Topainen did in the last one.
Yeah.
It just grips up and then launches.
Right on the borderline, isn't it? Of do you? And if you bog and it goes wrong, wow. Right, I think the best thing to do here is for everybody to go and have a slight drink, not too much. That's a good idea. A lie down, maybe a beer. If you don't like it, have a cup of char and get yourself tea. Get yourself ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow we've got another qualifying session. Look at this. Don't get up too late. 10 over here in Latvia is 9 in most of Europe and 8 a.m. if you're in the UK. The rest of the world, send me a message. Where are you watching from? I'd love to know what time you've got to get up for this. 10 a.m. Look, we start with RX1, so don't come in thinking, oh, I'll come in later. RX1 has their Q4 immediately, first thing in the morning after warm-up, then 3, 4, 5, and that's because we have the quarter-finals for RX1 at the end of that session. So I think it's 2 hours the broadcast is, including the quarter-finals. That'll give you who's in the semis, and as you can see at 1 p.m, we have the semis and the finals for all classes in the European Rallycross Championship for this first weekend. How great to have you back, mate, with us. Thoroughly enjoyed it. He's a great mate, but he does know quite a lot about rallycross as well. How good? I think he's lived up to expectations for me, big time.
Absolutely, and the free practice was ominous, wasn't it, with Johan Kristoffersson being a second up the road, but that's not how it really is in the racing, and all of the categories have been absolutely great. I can't wait for tomorrow morning.
No, I can't wait either, so don't miss a second of the action. It's all live and free on YouTube. I'm Andrew Coley, this is Hal Rouge. Thanks to the whole TV team. See you in the morning for more brilliant rallycross from Latvia.